Holiday season reminder.
You can't drive down a back road drunk. It's no different than driving down any other road.
Renewed calls to drive sober. Plus, the Queen's Dock Cultural Pier installed. Part lookout, part green space, and part historical landmark.
So today's a culmination of about a year's work to bring it to this point.
And spreading warmth one coat at a time.
If you see any opportunity to do good, step up and do it.
A community winter coat drive free for all.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on CTV News Windsor and AM 800. Some immigration experts are warning Canadians not to go to the U.S. unless they absolutely have to. It follows an uptick in visitors being detained or arrested by ICE agents because of changes to U.S. immigration policy. CTV's Heather Wright kicks off our coverage tonight.
This is North America's busiest border crossing, the Ambassador Bridge, which connects Windsor and Detroit. It's where Greg Williams was detained by U.S. Border Patrol last month as he tried to enter the United States with his wife and dad.
And then it was turn the car off, hands on the dash, and within seconds there were 15 agents surrounding the car.
Williams says he was handcuffed and taken into a small room inside the nearby building. He was photographed and fingerprinted before ever knowing why he was being detained.
I wasn't worrying about being sent to some, Ecuadorian supermax, which is very much white privilege of me, that it's like I don't have to worry about those things, but that's also like nobody should.
Turns out there's another Greg Williams with some sort of a record that prompted the detention of this Greg Williams, an Ontario musician.
This happened because I have the same name, and that's crazy.
Williams was released after a couple of hours, but his story highlights the growing number of Canadians being caught up in the immigration crackdown underway south of the border. More than 200 Canadians have spent time in ICE custody at some point since January, compared with 137 detained in 2024. Records show at least 6 children were among those detained. While a handful of Canadians had felony convictions or other criminal records, the vast majority were picked up for visa violations or less serious infractions, which experts say marks a major shift in policy.
For the most part, from what I've seen, we're looking at very minor criminal infractions, but sufficient to attract the radar of U.S. enforcement.
Experts say in the past, Canadians would have been denied entry into the United States or sent back to Canada, but are being detained more frequently.
Heather Wright, CTV News.
A deadly problem on local roads. In just 2 weeks, Essex County OPP have laid 29 alcohol-related criminal charges, the highest in the entire OPP West region. CTV's Chris Campbell joins us now. And Chris, police say the problem isn't going away even with stepped-up enforcement.
No, Stephanie, it's not. Police are conducting festive ride checks day and night in our area, but it's not just during the holiday season. OPP say they've been called to 74 alcohol-related collisions this year. Crashes, they say, never had to happen.
Impaired driving remains one of the leading causes of serious and fatal collisions on our roads and is entirely preventable.
Essex County OPP and Mothers Against Drunk Driving are once again saying make the right choice when it comes to getting behind the wheel. In the past 2 weeks since the festive ride campaign kicked off, Essex County OPP have conducted 218 ride checks, laying 29 alcohol-related criminal code charges, the most in the entire OPP West region.
If you choose to drive impaired, you'll be caught and you will face serious consequences.
Police say those numbers reflect a broader trend. In 2025, Essex County OPP have responded to 74 alcohol-related collisions, crashes officers say never had to happen.
Now, especially as the Christmas approaches and the holiday season approaches, more festivities, more celebrations are going to be underway. This is kind of a last push, to remind the public once again to never make that decision to drive impaired.
The local MAD chapter says the statistics don't tell the whole story.
Too many people pay the price for someone else's selfish and dangerous decision.
Every day, it's I see the consequences of alcohol in my life and in my community, and there is no excuse for drinking and driving anymore.
Local leaders say rural areas face unique challenges where some drivers mistakenly believe back roads are safer.
You can't drive down a back road drunk. It's no different than driving down any other road.
Personal injury lawyer Greg Monfortin says the consequences of impaired driving extend far beyond the roadside stop.
It can adversely affect almost every corner of a person's life.
He says impaired driving convictions can impact employment, travel, and a person's future. He supports the tougher penalties the Ontario government is proposing, which includes lifetime license suspensions for anyone convicted of impaired driving causing death.
People got to give their head a shake and really think about this and understand that every time they get behind the wheel of a car, they've made a promise to drive. They've in effect made a covenant with everybody to drive carefully and safely.
Impaired driving is all of our responsibilities. If you see or suspect a person driving impaired, call 911 immediately.
Police say enforcement will stay strict through the holidays, delivering a clear warning: drive impaired and you'll be caught. Authorities and MAD are urging anyone who suspects an impaired driver to call 911. And Stefanie, that's one call that could prevent a tragedy.
You're right. Okay, Chris Campbell tonight. Thank you for this. So here's our question of the day. Do you worry about impaired drivers when you are on the road over the holidays? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you prefer a larger 360-liter cart or a smaller 240-liter blue bin for recycling. Out of almost 600 responses, 57% say bigger. An update now to a story we brought you earlier this month about a Windsor police officer facing a serious charge. Constable Sean Rhodes was charged with impaired driving on December 6th. Police allege the driver of a vehicle fled from officers after they observed him asleep behind the wheel on Jefferson at Tecumseh at 4 o'clock in the morning. Rhodes is now suspended from the service with pay. However, CTV News has now learned a previous charge laid against Sean Rhodes in 2024 was withdrawn by the court. The 2025 allegation against Rhodes has not yet been proven in court. Investigators have linked the terrorist attack targeting Australia's Jewish community to ISIS. Prime Minister says the father and son suspects were influenced by the Islamic State. CTV's Judy Trent takes a closer look at what evidence has emerged.
Before the mass shooting began, dashcam video reveals how a couple confronted one of the Bondi Beach attackers. They tried to wrestle away his gun. Boris Gurman and his wife Sophia were among the 15 people killed.
It would appear that there is evidence that this was inspired by a terrorist organisation, by ISIS.
Homemade Islamic State flags were visible in the suspect's car. Authorities also found improvised explosive devices in the vehicle. 50-year-old Sajid Akram was killed by police. His 24-year-old son was also shot and in hospital. Police say father and son traveled to the Philippines in November and are trying to find out why.
Specifically, who were they interacting with in Mindanao, which is known to be an ISIS stronghold. In fact, ISIS had tried to carve out an independent state there some years ago. Still known to be active, still doing training there. Who exactly were these two individuals from Australia interacting with there?
The Akram's home in a Sydney suburb was searched. Police said the father, Sajid, had licenses for 6 firearms. Australian media is reporting that his son, Naveed, was investigated in 2019 for ties to an ISIS cell, but deemed a non-threat. Meanwhile, a menorah lights up Sydney's Opera House as grief grows at a memorial on Bondi Beach. 2 rabbis and a Holocaust survivor are among the dead. The youngest victim was a 10-year-old girl named Matilda.
Matilda's mother called me and say, Matilda died. And I couldn't even repeat this word at the time. I say, what? What? I asked him many times. I was thinking it's bad reception. I don't hear something well. And afterward, I started screaming.
There are growing anti-Semitic incidents across the globe. A Canadian intelligence assessment done after the Bondi Beach attack found that there is no credible threat to Jewish holiday events in this country. But a violent act by lone actors is a possibility.
Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
CTV meteorologist Julie Atchison joins us now for a first look at the weather tonight. And Julie, it does feel warmer than yesterday.
Absolutely. Temperatures really coming up this afternoon and breaking out of the dreary pattern with some sunshine, although still factoring in the wind chill. If you're in that breeze, it feels close to -7 to -8 in Essex County. So still dealing with the wind chill through this evening. But as we head into tomorrow, temperatures are going to really start to warm up. So you can see the cloud deck. We are starting to see some major breaks in that cloud. So as we head through the evening, skies will be partly cloudy. Temperature is going to continue to climb, so 0 to +1 as we push through the late evening. The winds out of the southwest continue. It's been a bit breezy at times. Winds southwest 20 with gusts of 40. We have rain in the forecast, but not until Thursday. Your Wednesday looks much milder, and over the next 7, temperatures will average closer to where we should be for this time of year. I'll take you through your 7-day coming up in just a few minutes.
Teachers across the country are reporting that the classroom is becoming an increasingly violent place. A new survey outlines some of the issues educators are facing. Here's CTV's Sweeta Rassi.
Some teachers might describe their job as a calling.
It is the most beautiful job to be a teacher.
But even a calling can come with challenges. Quebec's Federation of Teachers surveyed its members, asking if they faced violence at work. Nearly 2,500 out of the total of 65,000 teachers responded. 90% said yes. Catherine Renaud is the Vice President of Labor Relations at the FAE.
The statistics are alarming. The situation is terrible in our schools.
Teachers reported being hit by students, receiving death threats and sexual photos. And it's not just from students. Some teachers say they get hateful emails from parents as well. While the survey showed verbal and psychological violence being the most common type, Renaud says with younger students, physical violence is the bigger issue.
Young kids of 4 and 5 years old are hitting the teachers. 4 and 5 years old are hurting the teachers. 4 and 5 years old are pushing the teachers.
Quebec Solidaire and the Liberal Party education critics support the teachers, and both say the province needs to provide more resources.
So there's not one miracle solution to that problem, but there is one necessary solution, which is we need to hire more staff to do prevention of violence in the schools.
What we've seen in the past year is different cuts that have undermined the capacity of the school system to be able to do its mission.
The Federation is asking for the province for more investments in specialized resources and an action plan to tackle the growing problem. At the very least, the FAE wants to have a meeting with Quebec's Education Minister, Sonia Lebel. And in a statement to CTV News, the Education Ministry says, "We obviously cannot tolerate violence and intimidation in our schools." The minister is open to meeting the FAE to discuss the data presented today. Although Quebec's Education Ministry is already acting in prevention, we will always listen to school staff to improve our actions. The message from teachers is clear.
And the students must understand that it's not okay.
Because some teachers say they can't continue working in a classroom they no longer feel safe in. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News.
As the Amherstburg continues to look for a new policing provider, the town of LaSalle says it will not be able to accommodate them.
They would not be able to find the 30 police officers and get them trained, because you might be able to find 30 recruits, but you couldn't send them to the police college in Aylmer and have them trained in time for them to come on board.
Mayor Michael Proulx says the sticking points are resources, costs, and the short timeline. Talks between the two sides began earlier this year after Windsor announced plans to end its policing contract with the Burg in 2029. Now, the two most realistic options left for Amherstburg are the Ontario Provincial Police or restarting its old police force.
A great deal will depend on the costs, and a great deal will depend on our ability to set it all up and pay for it, the costs, and find the recruits and spend the money on the cars and the radios and everything else that has to be done.
Meanwhile, nearly $90,000 is being invested in firefighter safety in Amherstburg and Kingsville. Through Ontario's Fire Protection Grant, Amherstburg is receiving almost $53,000 to upgrade protective gear and reduce cancer risks. Kingsville will use more than $36,000 to install air cleaning units in its fire halls. Officials say the funding will help protect firefighters' health. The new intersection connecting Sydney Avenue with Howard Avenue and Division Road will not open this year. Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkins telling AM 800 the city has finished all of its work for the project, but it is now waiting on CN Rail to commission the rail crossing. He says that won't happen until early January. Dilkins says he understands residents are frustrated because he's also frustrated. The $18 million reconstruction project of the Howard corridor started in April.
Now it's just a little bit of frustration for residents who know that there's a faster route to get to Devonshire Mall, but they have to go around until that intersection can be commissioned and opened officially.
A new addition to Windsor's waterfront is in place. The Gordie Howe Pier at Queen's Dock was installed today on the city's west end. As CTV's Bob Belichico shows us, there's still some work to do, but the pier will be open soon for everyone to enjoy.
Today's a culmination of about a year's work to bring it to this point.
Crews began putting the new Gordie Howe Pier at Queen's Dock in place early this morning. The pedestrian pier extends into the Detroit River without touching the water and is designed to be fully accessible and free to access.
We wanted to ensure that even though there's private ownership in the area, that we're able to give them a safe place to go that's well lit with benches, places to rest, enjoy.
Officials say the design of the pier is culturally respectful and will feature Indigenous artwork and interpretive signage.
There is a strong position that the Native people have rights over the water, and to show our respect for them as part of this work, we're ensuring that we do not go into the water.
A bridge connecting the two piers allows for fishing and offers a great view of the Gordie Howe International Bridge.
And there will be a bridge crossing between the two of them, so you'll actually be able to walk out one side, go across.
So when all is said and done, this Queen's Dock project is about a $2 million venture. About $1 million came from the Gordie Howe International Bridge. 16 suppliers donated time and resources to make this a great opportunity for the community.
We have a ton of people and companies who come forward and donated and gave us the steel, the work that they're doing at discounts. So it's really helped us be able to afford to put in this beautiful pier.
Port Authority officials tell CTV News the pier is off limits for now, at least while work to install a walkway continues. They expect the pier to be ready to open to the public Thursday, weather permitting.
Then we'll close again in the spring as we go to finish the groundwork here, install the new seating areas and the decorative rocks and shrubs.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
The Greater Essex County District School Board has filled 2 vacant trustee seats, appointing Cheryl Lavelle and Chandrika Abang to serve until the next election next year. The board chose the pair after interviewing 9 candidates last night. The 2 were sworn in this afternoon ahead of the board's regular meeting. Now, we want to hear from you. Text us at 10400. We appreciate any ideas for a great story. Warm welcome still ahead on Windsor's News Leader. As temperatures drop, volunteers are racing to keep newcomers warm, one winter coat at a time. Party shift. Another Conservative MP switches sides. Later, why this could be just the beginning of more defections. And tomorrow, a hot pasta lunch for Titan tool strikers who say they feel forgotten as their strike hits day 128. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. A delegation of 30 Canadians, including 6 members of parliament, were barred by Israeli border authorities from entering the West Bank today from Jordan. CTV's Annie Bergeron Oliver is tracking this story.
It was here at the Allenby crossing that the Canadian delegation waited for hours, only to be told by Israeli border agents they could not enter the occupied West Bank.
We actually felt like criminals at the border, as if we are coming here to actually commit a crime.
The delegation, organized by the nonprofit the Canadian Muslim Vote, intended to spend 3 days talking to refugees, aid groups, along with Muslim, Jewish and Christian individuals in the West Bank. Instead, 30 people, including 6 MPs, 1 NDP and 5 Liberals, were turned around, with one MP claiming she was pushed.
Frankly, I think it's insulting. I really do.
Liberal Faraz Al-Soud says he expected pushback, but never expected many in the group would be told to sign paperwork deeming them a risk to public safety and security.
They only gave us this very vague terminology of public security or public safety or public order considerations. And when we pried just a slight bit, they pushed back significantly, making it clear that they did not need to provide any reasoning.
The group has no intention on trying to cross again and says this rejection is part of a pattern by the Israeli government.
There's been a recent pattern of UN employees, of journalists, of humanitarians, and also parliamentarians from other countries, including the United Kingdom, that have been refused entry.
Israel's embassy to Canada says the delegation was denied entry because organizers have links to Islamic Relief Worldwide, which Israel considers a terror entity due to its alleged ties to Hamas, ties the aid group has denied. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Premier Doug Ford says his government has no plans to sell off a stockpile of American alcohol sitting in storage.
It's not as easy as it sounds. We just can't sell it off. And I'm not going to do that during Christmas holidays when it will hurt our wineries, it will hurt our distilleries, and it's just not going to happen. I want to support local jobs and opportunities here.
The Ontario Liberals have been pushing the province to direct the LCBO to sell and donate the proceeds to charity. The American alcohol was pulled from the shelves in March amid the ongoing trade war. Roughly $80 million worth of booze is currently in storage, and about $2 million could expire in the next 6 months. In other news, 1,000 coats are being distributed this week to people in need. CTV's Michelle Molesky introduces us to the man behind the idea and the newcomers he is helping.
The Centre Communautaire Francophone Windsor-Essex-Kent helps 300 French-speaking newcomers per year.
We do receive asylum seekers directly from the border or from the airport with only a T-shirt.
Executive Director Yasmine Joher says the winter is a bit of an eye-opener for many.
We had a family coming from Leamington yesterday for the non-perishable item. They were just wearing, with the minus 15 that we had yesterday, just a hoodie. So it came right on time, and we give them the winter coat that we received from the association.
Joher is talking about this fundraiser called Warm Hearts, spearheaded by Zaid Khan.
The campaign started about 6 years ago. I actually ran into a lady outside the Rexall, and she was in a wheelchair and without any coat, and it was right around Christmas time. And I couldn't believe it that someone like in our own backyard is in need of support.
Backed by the Windsor Islamic Association, Khan has partnered with countless local agencies and recruited dozens of donors citywide to give back.
This year we hope to reach around 500 to 1,000 people. And over the last 6 years, we've delivered over 2,000 brand new jackets, as well as 50,000 other items like hats, scarves, gloves.
The warm clothes will be donated all this week at agencies like Hiatus House and the Downtown Mission. Khan says it started from his dislike of cold and has morphed into a personal determination to do some good.
If you see any opportunity to do good, step up and do it. Don't wait until the next day or think I'll do it later. If you have that opportunity, go ahead and take it right away.
Making a difference in their life, I don't know, that's my Christmas gift every year.
Go to our website for a link to help Warm Hearts. In downtown Windsor, Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
It's time for kids to call in their wish list to the big man in the red suit. Santa Talks is on AM 800 nightly. Here's part of a call between Santa and 7-year-old Jace. And Jace did not like when his dad tried to help him out.
What is your favorite subject in school?
A phone.
A subject.
What favorite subject in your school? When you go to school, what is your favorite subject?
No, you don't talk.
Sorry.
What? That's right. Who's that? Is that Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad is all excited because he wants to talk to Santa Claus too. Well, tell Dad that he has been on the nice list, except for that one time in the garage, which I'll talk to him later about.
While Santa's spending his mornings on reindeer care, elf supervision, and sleigh maintenance, weekday evenings from 7 until 8, he's all yours. So kids, grab some cookies and milk and call 519-792-2559 to speak with Father Christmas himself. Canada's main stock index was weighed down by losses in the energy sector. In Toronto, the TSX fell 220 points. In New York, the Dow lost 302. The Nasdaq gained 54. The Canadian dollar gained 0.14 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold dropped almost $3 an ounce and oil fell $1.54 a barrel. Previously unknown benefits of the COVID vaccine coming up. New research sheds light on what the vaccination during pregnancy could mean for expectant parents.
Thank you to Curtis Sasso. He took this photo in Kingsville, and definitely a beautiful shot with the Canadian flag there. Temperatures on the milder side as we head into tomorrow. Cloud cover in the morning, but clearing in the afternoon, and winds gusting out of the southwest. Rain arrives Thursday, and flurries return on Friday. A mixed bag of weather over the next 7.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app. From moment to moment, things change. CTVNewsWindsor.ca is Windsor's #1 source for online news. Watch every story from wherever you are, the moment it happens. CTVNewsWindsor.ca.
Julie joins me now for an extended look at the weather. Julie.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. Temperatures are starting to come up. We hit the freezing mark late this afternoon, early this evening. We should hold fairly steady. We could see the temperature dip briefly down to about -1, but I'm expecting it to come back up overnight. -7 our low this morning, so we dug our way out of the bitterly cold temperatures, sitting at that freezing mark in Essex County, Chatham-Kent. Still -2 in Sarnia, but we're starting to see that wind chill ease off as well. As we head over the next few hours, we're starting to see that cloud cover, of course, break up. This is some high cloud. We've been under a lot of sun out there today. As we head into the evening, skies will be mainly clear. We have a weather system that's coming into northern Ontario, and there's a little bit of moisture out ahead of it. Nothing's expected in Essex County overnight, but we could see some very light precipitation window briefly in the morning, and this is what I'm talking about. So this is at 6 a.m. So just a very light shower possible first thing in the morning, but it'll be quick and brief. Areas off to the east, northeast could see a bit of mixed precipitation, but for us, we could see just a little sprinkle. Nothing major through the day. We should break into a nice mix of sun and cloud as we head into the afternoon. Our next weather system just starting to get organized. Forecast models have this as Pacific moisture. It's going to charge its way across the central plains, and it's going to pick up a nice southerly flow. This weather system moves in Thursday with rain on the way. So you can see the rain moving in. This is Thursday at 4 o'clock. So showers just making their way into Essex County. So we're expecting the rain to arrive Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. Now this is a cold front to follow, and that means our winds will be shifting to the northwest, which will lead to falling temperatures briefly on Friday. So quickly across the country, I did want to mention Western Canada has been basking in some warmth and through the southern part of those provinces, breaking some records over the past couple of days, but you don't have to go too far to the north to pick up some heavy snowfall in the mountains. And then as we edge across the southern prairies tonight, -6 to -8, but moderating a bit. So we've had some big swings. It's mild now in Thunder Bay at 5 degrees, and temperatures starting to come up in southern Ontario. And it was a messy day of weather out east, but things are calmer this evening. So hovering near the freezing mark through the overnight, and then waking up tomorrow morning to cloud cover first thing with that 30% chance of some very light precipitation. Could see some little drops out there. By noon hour, 4 degrees with breaks of sunshine, and then wind shift to the northwest in the afternoon. We could see some nice breaks as we head towards the latter half of the day. And look at the forecast high. On the very warm side, mild and above normal. Our Enercare forecast of 6 degrees Wednesday afternoon. Showers on Thursday, and we're going to take it all the way up to 8 degrees. Another cold front comes in, and that one brings a cold push for Friday with a 40% chance of flurries. It'll be Thursday night into Friday where we could see some icy conditions on the roads as the temperatures quickly drop. And of course, we're expecting that rainfall to start, and that will lead to some ice. So watch for that Friday early in the morning. Chance of flurries on Saturday, back into a mix of sun and clouds Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Calmer conditions next week, and daytime highs where we should be from 1 to 3 degrees. So tomorrow, cloud cover to start. Should see some breaks of sunshine in the afternoon and rain in the forecast by Thursday late afternoon into the evening.
Lifetime, brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
Researchers at the University of British Columbia have found that the COVID-19 vaccine reduces the risk of premature birth and severe illness in pregnancy. The study analyzed data on almost 20,000 pregnant women infected with COVID in 2021 and 2022. It found that women who were vaccinated were about 60% less likely to be hospitalized and 90% less likely to need intensive care. They also say the risk of premature birth in vaccinated women was 20% lower during the Delta wave. A man says he has nothing left but the resolve to push for better rural emergency services after watching his longtime partner die in his arms waiting for an ambulance. CTV's Garrett Barry on the crushing loss in the fight to save lives.
Mike Williams planted this tree in Placentia's Dermot McGettigan Cemetery years ago. He always knew it would be the final home for both him and his life partner, Lori. He just never knew that forever would come so soon.
I got nothing left. What I got is there. That's where I want to be.
Overpowering grief. Williams says Lori perished in his arms while he and his daughter waited well more than an hour for paramedics to arrive. By the time they came and got her into a hospital, Williams said it was simply too late.
I knew she was dead. She died in my arms. Because I told her, if you see your mom, go on with her.
Williams says he was told the ambulance that arrived in Dunnville that day came from the town of St. Bride's, a community more than 50 kilometers away. Lori had been injured in a car accident a few days prior. The night before she died, she was complaining of swelling and pains in her neck and head. Mike says he hasn't yet received an autopsy report that would further explain why Lori died. Williams says he's left to wonder if ambulance services have been permanently cut in his area since Newfoundland and Labrador's Provincial Health Board took over all ambulance operation across the province. Officials said at the time the change would improve wait times. In September, the service was contracted out to Medavie Health Canada. Neither Medavie nor Newfoundland and Labrador Health Services have responded to questions about this story. Williams says he is now dedicated to fighting for better service for his community and all rural communities in the province.
Many more will go. If we don't change, we got to change this. We got to fight. And I'm not fighting for me today. I want to be there. I don't even want to be here. I want to be there with her.
Garrett Barry, CTV News in Placentia, Newfoundland and Labrador.
I don't want them scamming other people.
Coming up on Windsor's News Leader, how one Ontario woman lost $4,000 to an online loan scam and what to watch out for. It's been less than a week since another Conservative MP crossed the floor to join the Liberals, and the Energy Minister says there could be more on the way. CTV's Mike LeCouture on those comments and what the Conservative leader has to say.
Outside Michael Maw's constituency office, a small but vocal protest demanded answers to why the Markham Unionville MP crossed the floor to the Liberals.
I feel very upset, and we fight for our future. We fight for democracy. We fight for our children.
In a statement last week, Moss said he made his decision after listening carefully to the people in his riding about the direction of the country. Sources tell CTV News the energy minister helped recruit the former Conservative. Asked if there are others ready to join the government, Hodgson would only say this.
Let's say I'm getting lots of inquiries.
Conservative Alberta MP Matt Genereux met with Prime Minister Carney in November before deciding to quit politics. That was just days after Nova Scotia MP Chris D'Entremont crossed the floor, citing Pierre Poilievre's leadership. Now, in an interview with CTV's chief political correspondent Vassy Kapelos, the Conservative leader denied he is a liability to his party.
I'm very troubled that they made that decision, but the people in their ridings voted for the Conservative agenda that I'm continually leading on in the House of Commons.
One more floor crossing would secure a majority government for the Liberals. While he wasn't able to rule out more defections, Poilievre called the move undemocratic.
If Mark Carney believes that he should have a majority to go ahead with the high-cost policies he's running on, then he should get that mandate from Canadians in an election, not through dirty backroom deals.
Even if another Conservative crosses the floor, Poilievre says he will remain at the helm of his party for his leadership review in January. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
A warning for anyone considering a loan this time of year. Don't fall for the advance fee loan scam. That's when victims are told to pay a fee up front beforehand, but then the loan itself never comes through. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
I don't want them scamming other people.
Linda Bailey of Pickering says it was in September when she went online and Googled loan companies. One of the first to pop up was Dynamic Resource Solutions. She contacted them and was told she could get a $20,000 loan, but she had to pay $4,000 in advance to secure the funds.
They came up and I read all their stuff about them. People gave good reviews on them.
Once Bailey paid the advance fee, the loan never happened. She was scammed out of $4,000.
I'm losing my car, I'm losing my home, I'm losing my animals, I'm losing everything.
CTV News emailed and called Dynamic Resource Solutions but did not get a response. There have been other complaints about the company made to the Better Business Bureau.
It's illegal in Ontario to ask for an advance fee for any type of loan.
Angela Dennis with the BBB says scammers often target people who have credit issues and who might not be able to get a loan through a traditional lender.
When people are paying these fees, typically they're being told it's for insurance purposes or an administration fee, and consumers are sending in their money and they're not receiving the loan.
To avoid the advance fee loan scam, beware if a loan is guaranteed and a credit check is not necessary. Be suspicious if you're asked to pay fees or a deposit in advance, such as insurance or processing charges. And be concerned if the company doesn't exist at a physical address. Bailey is now in a worse financial situation since being scammed out of $4,000, and she still has bills that need to be paid.
Can't get my money back. I can't get it back. That's just, it's the way it'll be.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
The Windsor Symphony Orchestra's Holiday Pop Series continues this weekend. This holiday tradition includes performances of Let It Go from Disney's Frozen and Christmas favorites like It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas and Jingle Bells. This concert features the WSO Chorus, Music Moves Kids, and a special guest in a red suit. Performances are this Saturday and Sunday at 2:30 and 7:30, but the Sunday matinee is already sold out.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Feel the magic this season at the River Lights Winter Festival in downtown Amherstburg. Enjoy hundreds of dazzling displays through January 4th. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kettner. And Melanie, you have more for us on a local organization for Francophones.
Yeah, that's right, Stephanie. So the organization is dedicated to helping French-speaking people integrate into life in Canada. It's located right downtown at Olette and Elliott and is home to Ontario's only government-funded French language youth centre. They're also recipients of a coat drive organized by the Windsor Islamic Association. They help more than 300 Francophone families in Windsor, Essex and Chatham-Kent every year. People who come from all around the world.
We have from Brazil, we have from Africa, so Cameroon, Congo, Burundi. We are from Lebanon, from Syria, from Palestine. We have from all over the world, yes. So we do help them to integrate the Canadian society by giving them the support that they need after school.
For how you can help the coat drive this year, go to our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have a story online, Melanie, with ideas on how to keep the kids busy during the holidays. It's right around the corner.
Yes, very necessary. So the City of Windsor has announced options for winter break camp. The city is offering 2 weeks of themed activities designed to keep children having fun throughout the holiday break. Officials say the camps provide a safe, energetic environment where kids can enjoy games and crafts and sports, all supervised by trained staff. The camps take place in 4 community centers across the city, and you can see those facilities on our website. And in our social spotlight, here's a Backstreet Boys cover on the farm.
Everybody, rock your body.
Oh, wow. Meet the Backstreet Boys, covering the boy band's hit Everybody with their owner. They belt it out like they mean it, and clearly they're not feeling sheepish, Stephanie.
I absolutely love this. The Backstreet Boys was my band when I was younger. They have great voices. Maybe they should actually connect with the Backstreet Boys, maybe get a little soundtrack going.
Yeah, that sounds like a good collaboration, I think.
Okay, if someone has a video or photos they want to send you, how can they do it?
Yeah, they can email us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
Okay, thank you, Mel.
I do it in order to try to entice the grandkids and the great-grandkids to come in and see their grandparents at Christmas.
It's more than a bribe. When we return, an annual tradition at one retirement home keeps growing year after year. With one more look at these more mild temperatures, Julie joins us. Julie.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. Heading into tomorrow, we'll start the morning with some cloud cover. We have this very weak front coming through. It'll generate some gusty winds and some cloud cover, but we're not expecting anything in terms of measurable moisture at the surface. So we're going to get through the day dry. The probability is a 30% chance. So cloud cover in the morning, breaking into a mix of sun and cloud. The high is 6 degrees, 8 degrees on Thursday. Gusty winds out of the southwest to start, and then a cold front will come through, so we could see some flurries mix in Thursday night. Possibility of a flash freeze. We'll have to keep a very close eye on that Friday, as temperatures will quickly plummet behind the cold front Thursday night into Friday morning. There's a 40% chance of flurries Friday. Back up to 2 degrees on Saturday, +1 on Sunday. And this is where we should be for this time of year, around 1 to +3. A mix of sun and cloud Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So our Enercare forecast over the next 7, milder. And yes, we do have some rain on the way Thursday. Stephanie, back to you.
Thank you, Julie. Okay, Travis, we are heading to Chatham-Kent tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Folks will remember the long, drawn-out story of Talbot Trail, which is being realigned to move away from the eroding Lake Erie bluff. Well, there's been some movement on that file and possibly a timeline to getting the route reopened. We'll have those details tonight at 11.
Okay, thank you, Travis. And we leave our viewers tonight talking about Christmas trees. They're not just about dressing those up for the holidays. Alongside the lights and ornaments, many people are building miniature displays. CTV's Dave Charbonneau shows us the reason behind one such display at a retirement residence.
It's become a Christmas tradition at this retirement residence in Perth, one that has grown piece by miniature piece since it started 6 years ago.
I do it in order to try to entice the grandkids and the great-grandkids to come in and see their grandparents at Christmas. My favorite is the bumper cars here.
Every Christmas season, co-owner Whit Lewandowski builds miniature animated Christmas displays for residents and visitors.
A lot of the times the residents will help take the items out of the box. They'll help, once I get a lot of the electronics set up and everything, they'll help place the figurines in places they think works best.
The displays help create a sense of home and connection during the holidays.
This is our home now, and a lot of us can't have great big trees and great big families around all of the time. And Lanark Lifestyles is a place where we can all gather, and it's just like home.
And for many, the details bring back memories from long ago.
I like the merry-go-round. It reminds me of when I was, little kid. Yeah, but they're all very nice.
I always liked the skating rink. That I used to love to skate, so that brings back good memories.
The displays also now creating new memories.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. Yeah, and it's so attractive for residents and visitors, and especially young children.
A lot of the grandkids will come and play with it, and I don't have signs on it, do not touch or anything else. If something breaks, we have glue.
A collection of tiny details built on kindness and the spirit of the season. A reminder that even the little things can spread so much joy. Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
I can easily picture kids just running through the front door and going straight to that display.
Yeah, I think that'd be a welcome energy for the folks that live there, though. And you know what? One of our coworkers actually has a Christmas village that is the same size, if not larger, I would say. Yeah, Chris Campbell. We're going to have to get a camera over to his house and show that off. This is quite impressive.
What I love about them so much is that there's so much detail. You can see it from afar, but then when you actually zoom in and look and you see all the little figurines or a little dog or a little this,
great.
It's incredible. Definitely puts smile during the holiday season.
Sure.
On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca, and I'll be back with your only late local newscast at 11.
Good night.